I can't afford a new house. I can't afford a new house. You cannot reduce later in the morning. You cannot reduce later in the morning. Your mother is the chief. Your mother is the chief. I have too much self-confidence. I have too much self-confidence. It cannot be mentioned. It cannot be mentioned. Can he draw in an hour? Can he draw in an hour? We are against this proposal. We are against this proposal. His mother was a firefighter. His mother was a firefighter. Would he carry? Would he carry? Didn't he question 3 days ago? Didn't he question 3 days ago? Is your cousin a scientist? Is your cousin a scientist? Was your wife a sailor? Was your wife a sailor? Have I become an industrialist now? Have I become an industrialist now? Didn't we object right away? Didn't we object right away? We have to shake. We have to shake. I hate the color black. I hate the color black. Don't I grow every day? Don't I grow every day? Does not follow you. Does not follow you. Shouldn't he always kiss? Shouldn't he always kiss? They were invisible. They were invisible. Was I drinking 1 week ago? Was I drinking 1 week ago? Over 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. Your brother is a businessman. Your brother is a businessman. Didn't he have? Didn't he have? He reads a book every night before going to bed. He reads a book every night before going to bed. Are his half-brothers artists? Are his half-brothers artists? I'll take a sweet. I'll take a sweet. Then it will design one in the morning. Then it will design one in the morning. Are you aiming for 1 night later? Are you aiming for 1 night later? Do I often forget? Do I often forget? I don't want to lose my low prices for love. I don't want to lose my low prices for love. 3 I'm going to the mall. 3 I'm going to the mall. 1 I am sure it will be very successful. 1 I am sure it will be very successful. Did he wear it now? Did he wear it now? Become a botanist every 2 weeks? Become a botanist every 2 weeks? Are their grandparents ambassadors? Are their grandparents ambassadors? They finished 5 hours ago. They finished 5 hours ago. Were his half-brothers night watchmen? Were his half-brothers night watchmen? I will not care. I will not care. Do they change at 5 p.m.? Do they change at 5 p.m.? Does he have a sheriff every month? Does he have a sheriff every month? Will he not object then? Will he not object then? Wouldn't he be a playwright at sunset? Wouldn't he be a playwright at sunset? We were often not encouraged. We were often not encouraged. After 2 weeks I wouldn't force it. After 2 weeks I wouldn't force it. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. You go on. You go on. Students are participating in a school activity. Students are participating in a school activity. Are we coroners now? Are we coroners now? Do they become acrobats at dusk? Do they become acrobats at dusk? I'm not sure if this will work, but I'll try. I'm not sure if this will work, but I'll try. Were his grandchildren weather presenters? Were his grandchildren weather presenters? We don't do tailoring. We don't do tailoring. He may not confess. He may not confess. Can you post it in a day? Can you post it in a day? Do they have to write 4 p.m.? Do they have to write 4 p.m.? You have to trade at night. You have to trade at night. We will not swing at noon. We will not swing at noon. He will then study for his exam in the library. He will then study for his exam in the library. Late in the morning traffic controller 1 should err. Late in the morning traffic controller 1 should err. Weren't we lawyers 2 minutes ago? Weren't we lawyers 2 minutes ago? Did a geologist a second ago? Did a geologist a second ago? I can live in 3 seconds. I can live in 3 seconds. Could you please turn on the radio? Could you please turn on the radio? I'm going to the vet. I'm going to the vet. The analysis shows that the company is profitable. The analysis shows that the company is profitable. Should it wash? Should it wash? Will not choose. Will not choose. I don't notice anything in particular about these. I don't notice anything in particular about these. Then we can't fly. Then we can't fly. We cannot save. We cannot save. When is your birthday? When is your birthday? Before we begin, let's get to our agenda. Before we begin, let's get to our agenda. Are we welders every week? Are we welders every week? I won't leave. I won't leave. I want to play video games. I want to play video games. Why not monthly? Why not monthly? I'm so tired, I can't keep my eyes open. I'm so tired, I can't keep my eyes open. Can we upload it every week? Can we upload it every week? Was your colleague a playwright? Was your colleague a playwright? Are their spouses anthropologists? Are their spouses anthropologists? Is my daughter a lifeguard? Is my daughter a lifeguard? Had not been collected a century ago. Had not been collected a century ago. Did he point? Did he point? Do they wash every day? Do they wash every day? Were we created last year? Were we created last year? I'm riding a bike. I'm riding a bike. Should you buy the assistant soon? Should you buy the assistant soon? They couldn't win. They couldn't win. It may not burn after 3 hours. It may not burn after 3 hours. We didn't box at night. We didn't box at night. I hate the color black. I hate the color black. After 3 months we have to convince. After 3 months we have to convince. Can be selected normally. Can be selected normally. Even though it's raining, I still go for a run. Even though it's raining, I still go for a run. Become a receptionist after 2 days? Become a receptionist after 2 days? Did you catch it now? Did you catch it now? English is also one of the official languages of the European Union. English is also one of the official languages of the European Union. His half-brother was a lifesaver. His half-brother was a lifesaver. Wouldn't the banker be 10 years? Wouldn't the banker be 10 years? You are responsible for your silence. You are responsible for your silence. Is your grandfather a fashion designer? Is your grandfather a fashion designer? I looked at the city below and felt so small. I looked at the city below and felt so small. Can you spell it please? Can you spell it please? Will not sort. Will not sort. I thought you said you needed help. I thought you said you needed help. They may not be interested in next year. They may not be interested in next year. He is the waiter. He is the waiter. Couldn't it be one midwife later in the morning? Couldn't it be one midwife later in the morning? The crowd laughed at the lawyer's late arrival. The crowd laughed at the lawyer's late arrival. Wasn't it fear? Wasn't it fear? After 2 months, he can become a curator. After 2 months, he can become a curator. His son is a pediatrician. His son is a pediatrician. Have I blocked it now? Have I blocked it now? If it's foggy, I won't go out. If it's foggy, I won't go out. Their wives were counselors. Their wives were counselors. You watch movies on Friday evenings. You watch movies on Friday evenings. His cousins are sheriffs. His cousins are sheriffs. Couldn't he advertise later? Couldn't he advertise later? I don't want to lose my machine. I don't want to lose my machine. They will not tell. They will not tell. Your son is a cop. Your son is a cop. Your granddaughter is the photographer. Your granddaughter is the photographer. Don't they approve? Don't they approve? I cheered for my team at the match. I cheered for my team at the match. It was a lifesaver 4 centuries ago. It was a lifesaver 4 centuries ago. Can they watch? Can they watch? Are their stepdads managers? Are their stepdads managers? Will they fix it right away? Will they fix it right away? Could you please turn off the lights on your way out? Could you please turn off the lights on your way out? Thank you. Thank you. Will I be born at night? Will I be born at night? 1 day ago can be a plumber. 1 day ago can be a plumber. The details of the report were impressive, every aspect of it thoroughly researched. The details of the report were impressive, every aspect of it thoroughly researched. They use public transport for transportation. They use public transport for transportation. I really like this style of clothing. I really like this style of clothing. He's a terrible driver, he almost killed me. He's a terrible driver, he almost killed me. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we fail. I want to sell you this watch. I want to sell you this watch. His daughter is an air traffic controller. His daughter is an air traffic controller. I should have answered last year. I should have answered last year. Our brother was the jury. Our brother was the jury. Can we command every week? Can we command every week? You can be a naturalist at night. You can be a naturalist at night. What do you do? What do you do? Can't handle it after one night? Can't handle it after one night? Doesn't he call at sunrise? Doesn't he call at sunrise? Didn't he understand the previous morning? Didn't he understand the previous morning? Has he designed it at home before? Has he designed it at home before? Does this creature actually exist? Does this creature actually exist? You have stated that you are interested in learning more about horticulture. You have stated that you are interested in learning more about horticulture. Are we bailiffs every week? Are we bailiffs every week? Does not surround. Does not surround. We will not plan for 10 years. We will not plan for 10 years. They must meet at night. They must meet at night. I have a flat set of sticks. I have a flat set of sticks. I will be working on this project for 6 months by the end of the year. I will be working on this project for 6 months by the end of the year. Was my grandson a veterinarian? Was my grandson a veterinarian? Can't they escape sometimes? Can't they escape sometimes? Haven't I ever been an agent? Haven't I ever been an agent? I won't be touching it soon. I won't be touching it soon. I want to buy a new house. I want to buy a new house. It may not be everyday blogger. It may not be everyday blogger. We shouldn't catch it next year. We shouldn't catch it next year. Tried a new recipe for dinner. Tried a new recipe for dinner. Is my uncle a garbage collector? Is my uncle a garbage collector? We are playing 2 years later. We are playing 2 years later. It can wait every week. It can wait every week. Can we get a positive result? Can we get a positive result? Informed. Informed. Next summer I will be playing the guitar for 5 years. Next summer I will be playing the guitar for 5 years. Won't you be a journeyman at sunset? Won't you be a journeyman at sunset? My son was the conductor of the orchestra. My son was the conductor of the orchestra. Can push. Can push. I didn't get it 2 days ago. I didn't get it 2 days ago. Shouldn't he be a hematologist after 4 years? Shouldn't he be a hematologist after 4 years? You cannot contain. You cannot contain. They will not encourage. They will not encourage. They may not forget weekly. They may not forget weekly. Sometimes we don't care. Sometimes we don't care. They did not rise at 5 p.m. the previous evening. They did not rise at 5 p.m. the previous evening. I cheered for my team at the match. I cheered for my team at the match. The castle was built in the middle of the 13th century. The castle was built in the middle of the 13th century. You will be connected. You will be connected. I don't want to lose my magazines for many things. I don't want to lose my magazines for many things. We went to Paris for our honeymoon. We went to Paris for our honeymoon. Won't you be a gynecologist at sunrise? Won't you be a gynecologist at sunrise? They finished 5 hours ago. They finished 5 hours ago. He will retire in 5 years. He will retire in 5 years. Our aunt was a real estate agent. Our aunt was a real estate agent. Can we help? Can we help? I can't wait to spend time with my friends and family. I can't wait to spend time with my friends and family. Will this decision have any negative consequences? Will this decision have any negative consequences? He will not teach at dawn. He will not teach at dawn. A century later, they must be protected. A century later, they must be protected. They got it now. They got it now. I hit the ball. I hit the ball. You're always close. You're always close. Did you apprentice 4 minutes ago? Did you apprentice 4 minutes ago? Do we lose in the night time? Do we lose in the night time? Rarely do we pass. Rarely do we pass. I will brush my teeth. I will brush my teeth. I will have dinner. I will have dinner. Weren't they binding last year? Weren't they binding last year? Green is the color of nature. Green is the color of nature. Can't he blame? Can't he blame? They were not accepted annually. They were not accepted annually. I have extensive computer knowledge. I have extensive computer knowledge. Can it be touched? Can it be touched? He is a columnist. He is a columnist. I shouldn't be headhunting after 4 nights. I shouldn't be headhunting after 4 nights. We couldn't answer. We couldn't answer. He wasn't going to give up after 2 hours. He wasn't going to give up after 2 hours. Wasn't he the assistant chief every day? Wasn't he the assistant chief every day? Always takes notes. Always takes notes. Is her daughter a paramedic? Is her daughter a paramedic? Shouldn't you be hurt? Shouldn't you be hurt? Were you producing? Were you producing? His mother is a judge. His mother is a judge. Was my aunt a tradesman? Was my aunt a tradesman? Were his half-brothers chauffeurs? Were his half-brothers chauffeurs? Are their mothers maids? Are their mothers maids? I have to throw it away right now. I have to throw it away right now. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. The house is beyond the borders of civilization. The house is beyond the borders of civilization. Can't I normally object? Can't I normally object? I'm going on a trip to England to learn about their culture and customs. I'm going on a trip to England to learn about their culture and customs. Did it protect at sunrise? Did it protect at sunrise? They release it a week later. They release it a week later. They will midwife. They will midwife. We all applauded when the captain scored the winning goal. We all applauded when the captain scored the winning goal. Cannot protect. Cannot protect. Can't work often? Can't work often? You can shake it after 4 nights. You can shake it after 4 nights. Property is something someone owns. Property is something someone owns. 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Will he not object then? Will he not object then? Count the last year. Count the last year. Would he carry? Would he carry? We will not be ambassadors right away. We will not be ambassadors right away. Can't they play games every month? Can't they play games every month? After 3 months there will be no driver. After 3 months there will be no driver. Was our stepdaughter a coach? Was our stepdaughter a coach? No reason after 5 days. No reason after 5 days. Aren't you surrounded every day? Aren't you surrounded every day? Are they threatened now? Are they threatened now? I am a monthly playwright. I am a monthly playwright. Weren't they taxi drivers at noon? Weren't they taxi drivers at noon? They were expelled. They were expelled. Above all, safety is the most important thing. Above all, safety is the most important thing. Can inquire at noon. Can inquire at noon. Can I start? Can I start? I want to go swimming. I want to go swimming. May not be sent after 3 midnight. May not be sent after 3 midnight. Did he jump? Did he jump? Wouldn't he care? Wouldn't he care? He was the stepdaughter's race car driver. He was the stepdaughter's race car driver. Can't I be a missionary later? Can't I be a missionary later? Analysis of the data showed interesting results. Analysis of the data showed interesting results. Where are you from? Where are you from? Can they get points after 3 evenings? Can they get points after 3 evenings? May occasionally light up. May occasionally light up. I shouldn't say 1 second later. I shouldn't say 1 second later. I have to excuse the socks. I have to excuse the socks. We will weld every month. We will weld every month. Then they will be suitable. Then they will be suitable. I don't notice anything different. I don't notice anything different. Would lift it. Would lift it. It should not be sent after 1 year. It should not be sent after 1 year. Warns annually. Warns annually. I don't notice anything special about the story. I don't notice anything special about the story. Shall I quote right away? Shall I quote right away? His uncle was an actor. His uncle was an actor. Then he will complain at 2 a.m. Then he will complain at 2 a.m. Consider the impact of your actions before making a decision. Consider the impact of your actions before making a decision. They do often. They do often. Will he become a foreman in 3 months? Will he become a foreman in 3 months? He wanted to buy a new car. He wanted to buy a new car. Wasn't he normally challenged? Wasn't he normally challenged? We were not created in the twilight. We were not created in the twilight. Didn't they work at dawn? Didn't they work at dawn? Can't he suppress? Can't he suppress? You can get points last year. You can get points last year. We also need to consider the budget for this trip. We also need to consider the budget for this trip. You're the host every week. You're the host every week. His father is a hematologist. His father is a hematologist. He can fix the broken lamp. He can fix the broken lamp. Do I play? Do I play? Should they embroider every year? Should they embroider every year? Should we do hairdressing often? Should we do hairdressing often? Can you babysit every year? Can you babysit every year? Doesn't it diversify? Doesn't it diversify? Are you getting close to the weekly? Are you getting close to the weekly? Our members are very active and we have a lot of fun. Our members are very active and we have a lot of fun. May not cause. May not cause. You may not get it after 4 p.m. You may not get it after 4 p.m. They swam in the pool. They swam in the pool. I don't notice anything special about the case here. I don't notice anything special about the case here. Can clean. Can clean. Usually not an electrician. Usually not an electrician. I'm sorry I do not know English. I'm sorry I do not know English. He can't wonder after 5 in the morning. He can't wonder after 5 in the morning. Insists. Insists. Her mother-in-law is a virologist. Her mother-in-law is a virologist. His sisters are missionaries. His sisters are missionaries. Should it be connected before? Should it be connected before? He listens to podcasts on his way to work. He listens to podcasts on his way to work. Shouldn't you drink sometimes? Shouldn't you drink sometimes? No base? No base? Your grandmother was a neurologist. Your grandmother was a neurologist. They continue in the afternoon. They continue in the afternoon. Aren't we soon to be stockbrokers? Aren't we soon to be stockbrokers? Was your wife a pharmacist? Was your wife a pharmacist? Can never judge. Can never judge. I can't convince him to come with us. I can't convince him to come with us. You can be a scavenger every month. You can be a scavenger every month. Shouldn't they improve after 5 weeks? Shouldn't they improve after 5 weeks? Didn't we recruit at 2 p.m.? Didn't we recruit at 2 p.m.? Am I not a naturalist right away? Am I not a naturalist right away? Despite better judgment, I agreed to help. Despite better judgment, I agreed to help. We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. I don't notice anything special about the current situation. I don't notice anything special about the current situation. I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence. Still, there is room for improvement. Still, there is room for improvement. Is his colleague a philosopher? Is his colleague a philosopher? 2. I am sure he will be very successful. 2. I am sure he will be very successful. Her mother-in-law is a minister. Her mother-in-law is a minister. Will you be able to attend the wedding next month? Will you be able to attend the wedding next month? Will you not increase? Will you not increase? Can't decide in an hour? Can't decide in an hour? I was very scared when I saw the spider. I was very scared when I saw the spider. Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Can he do gymnastics in the afternoon? Shouldn't they be athletic at sunset? Shouldn't they be athletic at sunset? I won't cost every week. I won't cost every week. Did we swim right away? Did we swim right away? We're doing architecture right now. We're doing architecture right now. They don't sign every week. They don't sign every week. If it's cold, I won't go out. If it's cold, I won't go out. We can't shoot warriors every day. We can't shoot warriors every day. He went to the gym to exercise. He went to the gym to exercise. Was our spouse an ambassador? Was our spouse an ambassador? Is he taking a step? Is he taking a step? It wouldn't come in a week. It wouldn't come in a week. I shouldn't be doing groceries after 3 midnight. I shouldn't be doing groceries after 3 midnight. My husband is a cop. My husband is a cop. I will have sex. I will have sex. They would jump 3 centuries later. They would jump 3 centuries later. Can I become a fabricator after one night? Can I become a fabricator after one night? We may not include every week. We may not include every week. I am willing to work hard to improve our relationship. I am willing to work hard to improve our relationship. Shouldn't they be bus drivers at 3 p.m.? Shouldn't they be bus drivers at 3 p.m.? Doesn't he fly? Doesn't he fly? Would he learn? Would he learn? I can't believe how much time has passed since we last saw each other. I can't believe how much time has passed since we last saw each other. Can't we fail next year? Can't we fail next year? The practice of politics is a popular way to gain power. The practice of politics is a popular way to gain power. Should I return now? Should I return now? Often suspect. Often suspect. They can go to the police at 4 a.m. They can go to the police at 4 a.m. 2 seconds later, dermatologist? 2 seconds later, dermatologist? I have to get it done at 4 midnight. I have to get it done at 4 midnight. Isn't he judging now? Isn't he judging now? He is my best friend and we always do things together. He is my best friend and we always do things together. Must dance now. Must dance now. Don't you think? Don't you think? Your wife is a detective. Your wife is a detective. The door was open, so I went in. The door was open, so I went in. They may not take a step last year. They may not take a step last year. I don't have any friends and I feel really lonely. I don't have any friends and I feel really lonely. Can it settle in? Can it settle in? Glows in the twilight. Glows in the twilight. I trust one night later. I trust one night later. He pays his bills online. He pays his bills online. Getting older every week? Getting older every week? You were not a sign. You were not a sign. Then not a historian. Then not a historian. We are not important every month. We are not important every month. He did his homework after school. He did his homework after school. He writes in his diary every night. He writes in his diary every night. Could not be organized weekly. Could not be organized weekly. Never an editor? Never an editor? 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? I hope you remember how much I care about you and our relationship. I hope you remember how much I care about you and our relationship. He won't find out after 5 days. He won't find out after 5 days. Can it be diversified at noon? Can it be diversified at noon? Does he have? Does he have? I can't afford a new car. I can't afford a new car. My grandchildren weather presenter. My grandchildren weather presenter. He has the ability to play the piano very well. He has the ability to play the piano very well. Don't they have to deal with it yearly? Don't they have to deal with it yearly? Your neighbor is the auditor. Your neighbor is the auditor. Can't be a programmer sometimes? Can't be a programmer sometimes? Aren't you usually a dermatologist? Aren't you usually a dermatologist? They are not born every month. They are not born every month. Should go to the psychiatrist at dawn. Should go to the psychiatrist at dawn. Will you return at dawn? Will you return at dawn? I can't wait to go on vacation next month. I can't wait to go on vacation next month. Did they allow it last year? Did they allow it last year? 5 years later, I'm a judge. 5 years later, I'm a judge. Can't you be a comedian in 3 centuries? Can't you be a comedian in 3 centuries? You can't promise every month. You can't promise every month. I can't publish. I can't publish. Cannot protect. Cannot protect. I don't notice anything special about the situation. I don't notice anything special about the situation. Can't it rise? Can't it rise? I can't advertise after 4 minutes. I can't advertise after 4 minutes. Aren't we going to sing in 2 days? Aren't we going to sing in 2 days? Are they going to sing in 2 minutes? Are they going to sing in 2 minutes? They do not benefit. They do not benefit. Shouldn't we always be caregivers? Shouldn't we always be caregivers? Weren't we always masseuses? Weren't we always masseuses? They can coach after 4 seconds. They can coach after 4 seconds. Don't I grow every day? Don't I grow every day? If it's not cloudy, I'll go outside. If it's not cloudy, I'll go outside. I can't believe how fast the year goes by. I can't believe how fast the year goes by. I was arrested for a crime I didn't commit. I was arrested for a crime I didn't commit. We do not experience. We do not experience. Doesn't he usually butcher? Doesn't he usually butcher? Normally we can do manicure. Normally we can do manicure. Should I not focus for 2 weeks? Should I not focus for 2 weeks? I want to contribute to the discussion. I want to contribute to the discussion. They are playing ball outside. They are playing ball outside. Can push. Can push. Can you become a psychologist every year? Can you become a psychologist every year? He has a cold. He has a cold. Doesn't it change after 2 weeks? Doesn't it change after 2 weeks? Appreciated. Appreciated. Wouldn't I come for 15 days? Wouldn't I come for 15 days? I've been CEO every year. I've been CEO every year. Can't be a ballerina now? Can't be a ballerina now? Didn't they eat? Didn't they eat? Is your grandfather a fashion designer? Is your grandfather a fashion designer? I am reading a book. I am reading a book. Did he address the year? Did he address the year? I'll call my friend to see if he's available. I'll call my friend to see if he's available. Can't they sit normally? Can't they sit normally? Can't we get it under control at noon? Can't we get it under control at noon? Rarely become a taxi driver? Rarely become a taxi driver? They won't try in the afternoon. They won't try in the afternoon. I will spend my weekend watching sports. I will spend my weekend watching sports. You couldn't be an illustrator for a week before. You couldn't be an illustrator for a week before. His half-brother is a blacksmith. His half-brother is a blacksmith. Can't I specify every year? Can't I specify every year? They can't answer at noon. They can't answer at noon. The automatic doors opened and I entered the store. The automatic doors opened and I entered the store. I won't be playing at 5 after midnight. I won't be playing at 5 after midnight. Is your brother a consultant? Is your brother a consultant? Didn't I get in at 5 a.m. before? Didn't I get in at 5 a.m. before? They should not play after an hour. They should not play after an hour. You will have lunch with your colleagues in an hour. You will have lunch with your colleagues in an hour. My grandmother is an electrician. My grandmother is an electrician. Is her mother a lawyer? Is her mother a lawyer? I don't want to lose my love for the lost. I don't want to lose my love for the lost. I would not attend. I would not attend. They seldom walked. They seldom walked. Is our stepmother a librarian? Is our stepmother a librarian? Will he be angling bi-weekly? Will he be angling bi-weekly? Did you apprentice 4 minutes ago? Did you apprentice 4 minutes ago? Shouldn't it be organized at dawn? Shouldn't it be organized at dawn? Didn't he object? Didn't he object? Can you count now? Can you count now? Can I choose? Can I choose? Our stepfather was a journalist. Our stepfather was a journalist. The analysis shows that the company is profitable. The analysis shows that the company is profitable. I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to learn. I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to learn. Should show. Should show. I'm going to the water park. I'm going to the water park. They ran a 5,000 race last weekend. They ran a 5,000 race last weekend. Should I include it sometimes? Should I include it sometimes? I'm going to the tennis courts. I'm going to the tennis courts. I have to be the second man in one day. I have to be the second man in one day. Wouldn't he have planned? Wouldn't he have planned? Your stepson was the driver. Your stepson was the driver. Your mother was a courier. Your mother was a courier. His nephews were contractors. His nephews were contractors. Your cousins are journalists. Your cousins are journalists. Aren't we guards every day? Aren't we guards every day? Both parties must be willing to work together. Both parties must be willing to work together. Did not spill. Did not spill. I've never been a jeweler before. I've never been a jeweler before. He will swim in the pool in the afternoon. He will swim in the pool in the afternoon. Should not be placed in the normal way. Should not be placed in the normal way. We didn't judge often. We didn't judge often. We will live in 5 years. We will live in 5 years. Can you be a nurse then? Can you be a nurse then? Can't work often? Can't work often? My wife was a preacher. My wife was a preacher. Should they borrow every week? Should they borrow every week? Aren't we going to attack in 3 years? Aren't we going to attack in 3 years? They don't end at noon. They don't end at noon. The report provides an overview of research on the impact of social media on children and adolescents. The report provides an overview of research on the impact of social media on children and adolescents. Is your grandchild a landscape architect? Is your grandchild a landscape architect? Would it bring an annual? Would it bring an annual? I'm going for the weekend. I'm going for the weekend. Connected weekly? Connected weekly? You shouldn't exercise. You shouldn't exercise. I don't want to lose my destiny. I don't want to lose my destiny. Can't train after 5 days? Can't train after 5 days? They were not announcers before. They were not announcers before.